Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Bastion. In the last episode, we were kind of thrown into the middle of all things. Something happened to our world and we don't know what's going on. Most land is basically destroyed and all we have left to stand on are these floating platforms. So, let's take a look around, see where we are now.
Sure enough, he finds another. He finds me. We talk for a spell.
Alright, our first survivor. What are these crests for, I wonder? Weren't these only for uniform? Apparently, these crests were built around for us in the city, representing the people of Caelondia. That's the city that we're from, in our far land to the west on this continent, or what was once a continent.
There's a bit of the Bastion's power in that crest, enough to point the way to the cores.
Bastion? What's the Bastion? Is that this place? Did anyone else make it to the Bastion?
I tried to let the kid down gently. This is the Bastion, alright. Except no one else showed up.
That's unfortunate. Yeah, there probably wouldn't be too many survivors. But what's this core for? What's the point of taking it? We found it in the Wharf District last we were there.
All I tell him is to set that core of his on the monument there, then watch.
If it had enough power to keep a part of the city floating, maybe it has enough to bring whatever this place is back to its glory. So this is the Bastion. This is where we ended up, and we were told to come here if anything happened to the city. And well, something definitely happened, so let's put the core in here and see what happens. It said happened a lot.
And just like that, the Bastion comes alive. Starts growing again, growing stronger. Kid's gotta put its power to good use. Now the Bastion can send him even farther into the wild unknown.
Don't worry, stranger. We're definitely gonna put this power to good use. Now, first new mechanic. Oh yeah, if you push Y, then you can zoom out and you can get a look at everything. I never use it, but... So, the new mechanic of this game is that we get to build some of those buildings that we see on our adventures. And if you recall, we saw a distillery and an arsenal. Now we already have the weapons we need, so I wouldn't recommend building an arsenal. I would recommend doing the distillery. Because we leveled up, and every time you level up, you get to have a new spirit to drink out of. And new spirits means better perks, so...
Makes time to sample spirits from my personal supply.
You know, I don't think he made it to the drinking age yet, but seeing as how there's no government anymore, might as well go all for it. So we've got 3 new drinks. We've got the Hearty Punch, which gives you a chance to carry on after you're defeated. Now carry on is just how many lives you get. Now normally you just start with 2, but this will give you 3. Plus, you'll get an extra surprise just in case you die. Wear Whiskey. Basically the same as Dead Drum, only an opposite effect. When you're near death, you get more critical hit chance, but you get 100% to do it. So it's pretty much a last minute thing, or a last stand thing. Cinderbrick Stout is pretty useful. If you're holding down the defense button, then you can, or the guard button, you can walk a little faster, as opposed to being slow as a turtle. But I'm going to use this, because I don't know how well I'm gonna survive while let's playing here, so...
Hearty Punch is so zesty, it'll let you carry on through the worst of times.
You know, it might be interesting to see what those spirits taste like, but, you know, I don't like drinks all that much. They're not very good. But, so as you can see, we'll be able to build more buildings later, but for right now, that's all we get.
Kid don't know what's out there waiting for him. The Skyway. Now the kid can ride the wind to distant lands.
Alright. Now, this is the main map. As you can see, it's a continent of what was once the world. But as far as we know, there's only floating platforms of specific areas. So we need to go to places where these cores are and build back our bastion. And hopefully find other survivors like, hey, me and the stranger here. Now, if you push Y, you can take a look at what the stranger has to say about other places.
The Bastion. Caelondia's safe haven, once the highest point in the city. Too bad it wasn't finished before the calamity struck.
I'm only going to do certain ones, and this we'll get to in a little bit, but I'm not going to worry about this right now. This is going to be our next objective, so I'm only going to use the Y button on places we're about to go to next, but I'm not going to use it on places like this. These are basically challenge areas where you can use to get material for your bow and other things like that. So, let's just head here.
The workman ward. Them windbags used to keep the city humming along here.
Alright, guess we're headed out here. To the workman ward. Yes, we know. So a bit of backstory. The Caelondia is the city we're from. We're all Caelondians, or at least the kid is. And so is that stranger. But as far as we know nothing else and why any of this happened.
Now he lands at the intersection between bad and wrong.
Ain't that lovely?
Ought to be a core down one of these twisted streets. But which one?
Alright, so this is our first place to actually get to explore some things for a bit. Now, this is the way you want to go, because this leads to the core, but we don't want to leave just yet. We're going to do some things first. So, how about we go this way?
He heads for the east side, where windbags used to keep the local forge. They ain't pleased. No coal or alloy left to pay him for their efforts.
There we go.
Odd place to find the likes of Percy the
Snitch, huh?
Never much cared for that big wide grin of his.
Apparently we don't like Percy the Snitch. Alright, so the next building we get to find, the forge.
Inside the forge, Key can fine-tune those instruments.
Now, not all places have a building that we're gonna find. There aren't too many buildings, but if you go into a building, I believe it restores all of your health, and it also refills your bottles. So this is why we need those something heavies or something objects. These things are going to be used to upgrade our items, our weapons. So what we got here, we can pick between two different upgrades. And don't worry, you aren't forced to select one upgrade. You can switch between them if you want to switch at any time. Now, here we go.
Kid's lifelong friends looking fit to keep on fighting.
So now we just used one something heavy to fix this up. Now what happens is you use one item of each thing. And you also spend money. You can see how much money this next upgrade would cost. 500 plus another something heavy. Now you can switch between these two upgrades at any time. So that's just a thing to note. In case you like getting critical hits, there you go. But we're gonna see what we can do about this. Plus 2 more targets. This means that it will go further. As opposed to only hitting 3 targets, if it pierces, we can hit 2 more.
With a good length of meat gun, that bow's like new again.
So that's why we need money, and that's why we need those something heavies and something strong.
Core ain't here neither, so he's gotta guess again.
Oh well. Maybe I should've didn't draw speed.
Some scumbags still feeding off the city's own.
Now, a nice thing you can do is when enemies fall off the edge, they will die, like permanently. So, only scumbags right now have that.
Scumbag of them all. Gershel.
Gershel.
The calamity ain't done much for Gershel's sunny disposition.
Doesn't seem like a happy camper.
Shame old Gershel can't float like when he was a young fella.
Huh. Now, he didn't have the core. Like I said, we want to go, I believe, northwest. So.
No core, no surprise. Like the gas fellas are hiding it from him.
So. Huh? That one dropped something. Something sharp. Now this is another upgrade item we can use.
He heads for the squirt steps. Won't be no field trip this time.
Yeah, take that. Now we got a war machete.
Scumbag can digest just about anything.
Yeah.
It's quick for slicing. And
So the machete, there are a couple. This is an interesting new melee weapon. You can push it rapidly and you can slice as many times as you want. It's really good for taking out a bunch of little enemies. And we also get a throw function. Just like the bow, only a little bit weaker. It's also a bit weaker than the hammer. It's not very powerful, but that's what you get for light attack speed. This is definitely an interesting thing. And here, we got the squirt lure.
They say even the most rambunctious...
I'll show this off in a bit, but it's another hidden skill, and the best part of it is...
No sign of the core here. At least the kid got something for his trouble.
Yep, we have to keep looking. But yeah, the best part of the squirt lure is you don't have to
squirts just don't know when to quit.
have any specific weapon. I don't really intend on using the war machete very often, but I'm just gonna give it its screen time due.
Up north is where the gas fella foreman used to live, tending to his flock.
Ah! Dang it, I'm not blocking like I should. Ah! I almost died there, wow. This did not happen in my practice run. Alright, what's this? A ragged hood.
Know why gas fellas all dress alike? Kids wondering the same thing.
Yeah. So...
And there it is. But it's locked down tight in an alloy cage. A blustery old foreman is keeping his fellas in check. Almost like his show.
I forget what these ones are called. So they're all part of the windbag species. Just in different stages of life. See, that's the squirt lure right there. Let's take care of the foreman.
And now there's a new marshal in town.
Yeah. Looks like they wanted to keep that core for themselves. So that's the squirt lure.
The whole place grown, but it's too tough to fall.
So yeah, that's the squirt lure.
He's ready to go, and his ticket out's right where he started.
So yeah, I'll probably do my explanation here. So, things you might want to know. Windbags are all the things we've been running into. The small ones were squirts, the bigger ones were gas fellas, as the ones with hammers and ragged hoods. And then the bigger ones were known as scumbags. Now they're all a part of the same species, apparently, and they used to work for us, but now, whatever's going on here made them go a bit awry, so I guess all we can do is fend for ourselves just as they are doing. Doesn't look like that core let the place fall apart, so I guess everyone here will be fine. Won't need to worry too much about them.
He comes back, just like I knew he would. The core hums in his pack. The monument's calling for it.
So what do you think happened to all of them? All of the windbags?
The windbags used to be alright. Then the calamity took the floor out from under him.
Guess this calamity caused all of our problems. I wonder what made this calamity happen. But now we have a new friend. And we're gonna name him Bill Squirt. He's just a little squirt. But
Kid does it again. Only fair he decides what we do
alright,
next.
so I guess we're just gonna build this building, and in the next episode I will see you guys, and hopefully we can continue to figure out what happened to our civilization and if we can keep building forward. So let's get the arsenal up. So yep.
The Bastion's a place of peace.
One more thing is that we
can
actually
hold
get
our
an
own if we have
extra.
to.
One more thing is that we actually get an extra ability, the mirror shield. It's like always counterblocking, and it's really useful in a pinch because you're basically invincible for a short amount of time, and any enemies that attack you are instantly deflected back. So, just a useful thing to have. So we'll equip that.
Ain't much kid can't handle with hammer
And
bow
in the
and
next
hand.
episode, I will see you guys, and we will continue to keep finding cores and hopefully build the Bastion up to its former glory. See you guys then.